Greetings in the best of salutations. There will be prayer, power, peace, patience, and prosperity. The closest I can get to when it comes to specifically a creator is to look at what has been created. The transforming power of that which has evolved from thought, comprised of transmitted or energy that has been transmitted into a physical presence. The unseen becomes the seen. I can only resemble what I can remember. And that which I can remember is that which I can recall. That which I can call, I can recollect. A recollect. It is a collection of thoughts. And that which I resemble is in comparison to, in comparison with, and that which I hold in common. Hopefully, the traits will be one that is noble. You can be born a certain way but want to be identified differently. What I can remember is what I can recall, so it has to do with memory. You know, when you look at a SIM card, it also is known as something that you are subscribing to, or a subscriber, or something that you identify with as a module. And we do in this culture have an identification card. But the information is the data that has been stored in your memory or in our memory bank. It makes us mobile. In this society, many are under surveillance, so one wants to track your every move. whatever intentions that are behind it. So, the test, when you look at this plane of existence called Earth, is designed to designed to see how we process information, and that also has to do with environment and motivation. The intent behind, or the motive behind, when a person make a certain decision and do a certain thing. Influence, because primarily, one, I realized that I can only resemble what I can remember, what I can recall. That which is before me and that which is at my disposal. So the being unable to recall one's original nature, original intent, this noble quality and noble traits, unable to recall those things or to remember those things, will frustrate an individual, because there is some type of blockage, and in that frustration he or she may do something that is damaging, that is hurtful. So, in the replacement of not being able to recall the noble traits makes one to become very ignoble. Yes. And the more ignoble you become, the more frustrated, the more hostile you become. And then there are those who understand that and will create an environment of ignorance and hostility, animosity and distrust, an environment of doubt where we are suspicious of each other. You ever noticed, not saying you have not, I'm having an exchange, not an exchange, but with myself, say I'm having an exchange with myself, dialogue with myself. The whole world, Earth, is a utility. Natural light, natural order, natural air. But yet someone comes and wants to control that in the land and say, well, you're going to have to pay for it. So we are paying for it in more ways than one, based upon one is unable to remember his or her noble qualities or noble traits, which makes he or she ignoble. So then we get into what is called the pleasure. People are living their lives enjoying the benefits of this creation. People live in certain different geographical locations, and therefore some may be able, some identify with that. Somewhere there is a teaching that says we all have humble beginnings, which means there is no need for arrogance. Be arrogant. Going beyond anything that put us as humans at odds with one another, that we can't, unable to identify the commonality or the common traits that is in us all. And when one takes pleasure in perpetuating and promoting that type of attitude, thinking, thoughts, and behavior, it's almost like it takes on the term, if I may use it, as a sadist. One who takes pleasure in harming and endangering one another, and arrogantly boasting of their importance as well as their success. More power to you. Well, we must realize when there is pleasure, there also comes responsibility. See, I realize that nature comes to awaken our conscious, and therefore we must become responsible with it. The wants and the needs. The necessity, the importance of life and living when it comes to that I can only resemble what I can remember, and that's how I can be measured. And in that which one is trying to project with the reputation or the image. You must do so with reflection, but for me it all starts with introspection, of being self-introspective. And that's respect. The impact of how to affect change. It is a sign of that which is to come. And that which is to come is another part of you, another part of me. In part, some call it attributes, and that which you and I are contributing to this plane of existence. Because the best project one can work on is him and herself. Talk to you.